I think that Andrew, in giving the statistics, is so relevant. That if you think that 30 years ago, 25% of people that had cancer would survive. That means 75% died. And today, 62% survive. That means only 33% are dying. And one of the things that I do with the Canadian Cancer Society is I actually facilitated a program called Living Well Beyond Cancer. And it's a program, it's a 6-week program that can give you tools in order to cope with living with cancer. Because even though you hear the statistic that 62 are surviving, those 62% are living with cancer. Because once you have cancer in your body, it's never really gone. So you're living with the cancer. And I think that that's a really shift in the paradigm, is that people now are living with cancer, not dying from cancer. And I think that the reason is because of all this fabulous research and the medical research that is done has pretty well, it's rare that somebody dies of breast cancer now, because it's kind of a sexy cancer, if you know what I mean. So people support it a lot. There's a lot of events. But like Andrew said in his preamble, there are so many other cancers that are not as well known or as well supported, and people are dying from those cancers. It's rare that a woman can survive ovarian cancer. Why? Because it's so hard to diagnose. So I think that's one of the things that I personally feel is important, that if there could be some kind of diagnostic tool developed to be able to diagnose ovarian cancer, then, and it's usually younger women who die from it, then there would be mothers and daughters and sisters who aren't dying prematurely. So I think that the hope is that the knowledge is there. We just need the money. There are so many projects that have to be turned down every year for research through the Canadian Cancer Society because there isn't enough money. I mean, $2.5 million sounds like a lot of money, but it's not. We need more and more and more until we can actually get rid of this. Because we work towards the day when, you get diagnosed with cancer, but 100% are living with it, and not the way it is even now. I'm not happy with 62% living with it.
Talk to us about the dynamic and maybe how it shifted or changed within your family, knowing that you're going through it as well as your sister, and then all of your family is experiencing it along with both of you.
Well, I can speak to the fact that there is genetic counseling available if you have more than so many people in your family that have a specific type of cancer. And because our family is actually relatively small, I never had a first cousin. Okay, so does this speak to you how small my family is? And yet we were able to participate in the genetic counseling because both my sister and I had breast cancer. And the results were that her cancer and mine are totally unrelated. She has inflammatory breast cancer and I have ductal cancer. And so, and neither of us had the gene that carries the cancer. And to us, it was important for us to be able to give that information to our daughters, because she has 3 daughters and I have 2. And my daughter at the time was, I have to do some correction, 22 years old at the time. And she had said that if the gene were there, at 22 years old, she was going to have an oophorectomy, which is the removal of the ovaries, and to ensure that she didn't get cancer. Yeah, so that's one of the dynamics, And I look at my granddaughter who, when I was sick, at 2.5 years old, my daughter used to come over and change my dressings after my surgery. And my 2.5-year-old granddaughter would drape herself over my torso and go, "Oh, Nana, you have a bobo." And I wanted to make sure that she never gets a bobo.
Certainly, with Relay for Life, one of the concerns or comments we always hear is about, do some of the funds stay locally, and absolutely do. We have a large transportation program in North Bay area that's traveled over 500,000 kilometers last year, helping almost 3,000 trips where clients, both adults and children, have been taken to treatment, to and from treatment. So that makes a huge impact. And what happens is some of the Relay for Life money is used to fund that transportation program, and certainly research. I mean, research is a key part, right? It's a continual battle to make inroads. And what's happened is over the years, back in the 1940s, survival rates were 25% from cancer. So if there was 4 people in a room, 3 of them probably wouldn't survive. And now it's a 62% survival rate, so it's much improved. So, we continue to fund research on going forward, and one of the things that we're looking at as an organization is funding some of the cancers like lung and colorectal and brain, and a couple of others that don't normally get traditionally funded as highly. And so we're looking at trying to ensure those cancers are funded as well, because they collectively take 49% of the deaths from those cancers. So.